Good morning. Yesterday, we have seen how Rosemary brings that little poor girl to her home, and how she feeds her, and after getting that much tea, meals, that poor girl feels little uh, relaxed, and just she was sitting there. At the same time, just Rosemary was going to start the conversation with that poor girl, about her situation, when where she lives, such type of information she was going to get at that time. There happens something, and what happens after that we have to see today. She asks that poor lady, and when did you have your last meal? She asked softly, but at that moment the door handle turned. So she was going to ask that poor lady, because when she asked, Rosemary fell for the rupees to have a cup of tea, and she was a little pale and so become weak, and because of lack of meal, she might have not got that meal for some days. So she got that lady only to be generous towards her, because whatever she has read in novels and fairy tales, she wanted to make that all tales true by being so generous towards such poor people. And that's why she is going to she tried her best to make that poor lady comfortable in her home. But when that poor lady had a lot of foods and teas, and after getting that food she felt little relaxed, and after that she is going to just have some information about her, and she just asked the question, when did you have your last meal? She asked softly, but at the same moment, one incident happens there. The door handle turned. Rosemary, may I come in? It was Philip. And at the same time, when she is going to get some information about that particular girl, yes, she wants to some conversation with that poor girl. At the same time, one incident happens there. Her husband, Philip, comes and asks for permission. May I come in? Rosemary, may I come in? It was Philip. Of course, he came in. Oh, I am so sorry, he said, and stopped and stared. And when he comes in, he sees someone else, and that was that poor lady. And he stared at that lady and says, sorry, I am sorry, he said, and stopped and stared. It is quite all right, said Rosemary, smiling. This is my friend, Miss Smith, madam, said that languid figure, who was strangely still and unafraid. And when that Rosemary even doesn't know the name of that poor lady, when her husband asked her about the name of that particular, or wanted to know the information about that particular lady, the Rosemary even doesn't know the name of that poor girl. When her husband asks, that poor girl answers, Smith, madam, means my name is Smith. And then languid figure means she has eaten a lot of food, that's why she has become a little languid, means little loathsome, little means relaxed, and she doesn't wants to move anymore. That is called languid figure. Laziness, we can say, has grown on her body. And that languid figure, who was strangely still and unafraid, because we have seen earlier when she comes with Rosemary, and she feels little frightened at that house. But when Rosemary just try herself best to make that poor lady so comfortable in her home, after getting that foods and teas, she gets little comfortable, and she now after eating lot of food has become languid, still and unafraid. So Smith, said Rosemary, we are going to have little talk. Oh yes, said Philip, quite. His eyes caught sight of coat and hat on the floor. Just we have seen that when they comes Rosemary and that poor girl. Just see the Rosemary just take off the hat and coats from the bodies of that poor girl, and just let that hat and coat be laid on floor. And when Phillips comes, he gets little awkward, means it seems to him little awkward, because such type of things falling on the ground, falling on the floor, he even couldn't tolerate that all the scene. That's why, but he never express that type of anger, means that type of feelings he never let come on his face. And he says, oh yes, said Philip, quite. And his eyes caught sight of that coat and hat on the floor. He came over to the fire and turned his back to it. It's beastly afternoon. Beastly afternoon means it was very unpleasant afternoon, because we know there was rain outside, and that in that rain each and everything was so cold and unenthusiastic. That's why he says it was beastly afternoon. He said curiously, still looking at that listless figure. Listless figure means that poor lady. Looking at his hands and boots, and then at Rosemary again, and he just observed the situation or condition of that poor lady. She is wearing that boots and hands, it may be worn out boots, and that hand very torn out clothes she may be worn out at that time, and such whole appearance of that poor lady is so awkward, and that's why he feels, means she was we can say the beggar, and we know the appearance of the beggar, and such beggar that Rosemary had lead towards her bedroom, and that scene is very little awkward to the eyes of the Phillips, the husband of Rosemary. Yes, isn't it, said Rosemary enthusiastically. Wild means also little frightening, or a little we can say unpleasant, horrible, unpleasant, wild. Philip smiled his charming smile. As a matter of fact, said he, I wanted you to come into the library for a moment. Would you? Will Miss Smith excuse us? And he just asked Rosemary to come to his library to do some conversation, and she just also asked that Smith, would you not mind if we go outside? And the big eyes were raised to him, but Rosemary answered for her, of course she will. And they went out of the room together. I say, said Philip, when they were alone, explain, who is she? What does it all mean? Means he just wanted to trace the note at that time, that who is she? She is beggar, and how could you get someone like beggar in your bedroom directly? And such feeling is such type of behavior is little silly, and how could you do all that thing? Then Rosemary, laughing, leaned against the door and said, I pick her up in Curzon Street. Really? She is a real pickup. She asked me for a price of cup of tea, and I brought her home with me. And she said what happens in that Curzon Street, and how she leads that poor girl into her bedroom, and how she asks her for the cup of tea. But she wants to be little more generous towards that particular lady. That's why she brings that lead that or pick up that lady, poor lady, to her bedroom. But what on earth are you going to do with her? Cried Philip. And what such behavior is little silly. We shouldn't put anyone from the street like beggar and just get them to our bedroom. Such behavior is not proper. So he's try to console. So we can say he just try to console or try to suggest or try to we can say manage the Rosemary. But nice to her, be nice to her. Be nice to her means I wanted to be nice to her means I wanted to be generous towards her because she has asked me for a cup of tea and I want to give her lot or more than that whatever she has asked me. You are quite mad, it simply can't be done. Sorry, said Rosemary quickly, and be frightfully nice to her, look after her. I don't know how. We haven't talked it, but show her, treat her, make her feel. Means I wanted to be generous towards us. Whatever I have read in novels and fairy tale, I want to prove that true. I want to take care of her. I want to just feed her. I want to just look at her, look after her, and such type of things I want to do. I want to do for that poor girl. My darling girl, said Philip, you are quite mad. It simply can't be done. Means that Philip also counsels his wife that such type of behavior is little silly and you can't be so mad that any beggar from the street you can't lead any beggar from the street towards your bedroom. I know you would say that, retorted Rosemary. Why not? I want to. Isn't that reason? And besides, once always reading about these things, I decided. Once reading about these things means I have always read all the things in novels and other fairy tales. That's why I wanted to prove all that thing, and I decide that is the only reason why I let I lead why I pick up that particular lady towards my bedroom, because I decide that I want to do something. That is the only reason why I am I got that lady to my bedroom. But, said Philip slowly, he cut the end of the cigar, and she is so astonishingly pretty. And when the Rosemary is not ready to hear something from ready to hear anything from Philip, and he just wants to light his cigar and just cut the end of the cigar and says, she is astonishingly pretty, she is very beautiful, she is very pretty. Means that poor girl. Pretty. Rosemary was so surprised that she blushed. Do you think so? I hadn't thought about it. And when her own husband praised the beauty of that poor girl, she became little confused, and she just says that I didn't think about that prettiness of that particular poor girl. Good Lord, Philip struck a match, means he lighted his cigar. She is absolutely lovely. Look again. My child, I was bowled over. Bowled over means just impressed. Bowled over means very much impressed. I was bowled over when I came into your room just now. However, I think you are making a ghastly mistake. Sorry, darling, if I am crude and all that, but let me know if Miss Smith is going to dine with us in time for me to look up the milliner's gadgets. And he just play a trick. He just flatter. He just praise the beauty of that poor girl in front of his wife. And when any husband praises the beauties of another lady in front of his own wife, that is very dangerous thing for the wife. And that's why he just play a trick, because Rosemary was not ready to let that poor girl out her home. But why? In what way he was to let that poor girl go out of his home? And that's why he play a trick. And when he praised the beauty of that poor girl, that Rosemary just she wanted little. Before that she wanted to be more generous towards that poor lady, but after hearing the praise, after hearing the praising of or flattery of, we can say, the praising of that poor lady at the mouth of his own husband, she get little, we can say, surprised, also confused, also little frightened that her own husband is going to praise that poor lady. This is very unbearable thing for Rosemary Fell, and she just forgot about all her generousness, all that thing. But he only just play a trick. He just praise the beauty of that particular poor girl, and just it was his trick that he plays to remove that poor girl from his home. Milliner's Gadget means that is very famous magazine in that time, used to used by the poor common people in and we can say working people at that time. It means that he just wanted to say, if that poor lady is going to dine with us, I must know some rules and regulation with of the poor, how they converse with each other, how they greet with each other, and that's why I must have that much knowledge to impress that poor girl by reading that magazine, because in that magazine is used by the working class people, and that's why, because Rosemary and her husband belongs to the higher society, and they never know the etiquettes and manner followed by the poor people, and that's why he just play a trick, and he just wanted to read that Milliner's Gadget, because he wanted to know. He just tried to say that if we are going to dine with that poor lady, we must know the etiquettes and manner followed by poor people, and for that I must read the Milliner's Gadget. You absurd creature, said Rosemary. She went out of library, but not back to her bedroom. She went to her writing room, sat down at her desk. Pretty, absolutely lovely. These are the words uttered by her husband for that poor beauty of that poor lady. Bowled over, he was much impressed by that poor lady's beauty. Her heart beat like heavy bell. Her heart just started beating like heavy bell. And pretty, lovely. These words were hammering the mind of that Rosemary Fell, and she got little anxious, little jealous, and her generousness was replaced by her jealousy. Her generousness was replaced by the jealousy, as her own husband uttered the words like pretty and beautiful and bowled over, impressed. Such type of words uttered by her own husband towards the poor lady just make her frightened, and her jealousy, her generousness, her jealousy takes the place of generousness. And then she drew her checkbook towards her, but no, check would not be no use, because that poor lady wouldn't have any account in the bank. That's why that would not be helpful for her. She opened the drawer and took out the 5-pound notes. Look at them, put 2 back, and holding the 3 squeeze in her hand, she went back to her bedroom. Half an hour later, Philip was still in the library when Rosemary came in, and just he played the trick and just remained in the library. Who? The husband of Rosemary Fell. I only wanted to tell, she said to her husband. She leaned against the door again and looked at him with her dazzled, exotic gaze. Miss Smith won't dine with us tonight. Means previously, after the coming of, after the we can say the entrance of the Philip, her husband, she had decided that Rosemary would be so I would be so generous towards that poor lady, and I would lead that poor lady to dine with us, and whatever it may be possible for me to be generous towards that lady, I would do. But when her own husband praises the beauties of that poor lady, she get frightened, she get anxious, she get jealous, and just change the decision and come again towards in that library. Come again in that library and says, Miss Smith won't dine with us tonight. Philip put down the paper. Oh, what happened? Previous engagement. Rosemary came over and sat down on his knees. She insisted on going, said she. So I gave the poor little thing present money. Present of money. I couldn't keep her against her will, could I? She added softly. Rosemary had just done her hair, darkened her eyes a little, and put on her pearl. She put up her hands and touched Philip's cheeks. Do you like me? Said she. Her tone, sweet, husky, troubled him. And in this paragraph, we come to know the mental situation of Rosemary, because when her own husband praises the beauties of another, that poor lady, her generousness just turned into jealousy, and she feels the little frightened. She feel, we can say, in another word we can say, she is little anxious about her place in the life of her husband, because she loves her husband most, and she thinks at that time that if my husband in case unfortunately start to be impressed by that poor lady, my family would be destroyed, and that is the fear she developed in her mind. And because of that, she just gave money to that poor lady and just leave her off. And after that, she comes getting makeup on her face and wearing her pearl and all that, whatever she can do to woo her husband. She do all that thing and goes to her husband to woo her husband, and says that, and asks him, am I real pretty? And what does she say? She puts her hand and touches Philip's cheek. Do you like me? She just asks him, do you like me? Means that sentence suggests that she just developed the feeling of fear, because she even has the doubt that if my husband starts to develop some affection towards that poor lady, my life would be in danger. Such type of fears comes in the mind, and her generousness turns into jealousy, and just she let that poor girl go to her way, giving her some monies. I like you awfully, he said. He held her tighter. Kiss me. Then there some romance is there. There was a pause. Rosemary said dreamily, I saw a fascinating little box today. It cost 28 guineas. May I have it? There was a box I like most, but I didn't have at that time so much money to purchase that box. But may I have that box? She just tried to ask the permission of that her husband. Philip jumped over to his knees, jumped her on his knees, and you may, little wasteful one, said he. But that was not really what Rosemary wanted to say. Philip, she whispered, and she pressed his head against her bosom and say, am I pretty? Am I pretty? Am I beautiful? Just we have uttered your words against the beauties of that particular lady, poor lady. But as far as my beauty is concerned, am I pretty? Means that's that question, that sentence suggests that she get little frightened when her own husband praises the beauties of another lady, and when comes on her destiny, she just forgot all the generousness, whatever she has read in fairy tales or in novels. But when in real life she imagine all that thing, when her husband just start to grow her affection towards that particular lady, her life will be in danger. Such type of feelings come in the mind of that Rosemary fell. It means that in the when we all have seen that story, when we see the inner psyche of the protagonist Rosemary Fell, we come to know that. So whatever uh, uh, she may have written, read in novels or other fairy tales, but in reality, she can't be like that. And she is, that's why first sentence is she was pretty but not so beautiful, means total beautiful. It means that in outer appearance she was very beautiful, but as far as her inner psyche is concerned, she was not so beautiful. So dear student, I think I hope you must have understood the story. If you come across some I think problems, just let me know. Thank you.